Good morning, y'all. I'm Marlene Bush, and this is Stitching by the Lake. And I really am in a different place today than I think y'all probably have seen, or at least not in a while. I'm down in what I call my sunroom, which means that I am able to see the lake right from where I am. I'm going to turn this around very slowly so that you can get a glimpse of it. You'll have to excuse all of that stuff back there. All my winter plants are still in. And we have to go past the fireplace. And there. Now you can see the lake. And the reason I'm showing it to you today is because, okay, moving back in case you get dizzy, is because in the winter, our lake is drawn down. It's a different amount every year. It depends on what the powers that be think needs to happen out there. I think it came down about 4, 5, 6 feet this year. I don't know. That controls the algae in the lake and allows people who live on the lake to have time during the winter to repair seawalls and that sort of thing. We're always glad when the water comes back up. We still have water all the way up under our dock. Not everyone on the lake does, but we are in the main channel, and that means that it's a little deeper here, and so we have water out there. But not quite this much, and it's easier. I don't know, easier is not a good word. It's a nicer view when we have more water rather than less water. So I'm excited for that. That means that spring is really here because they bring it back up in March and they take it back down, in November, I guess, somewhere in there. So spring is here, even though the temperatures don't always reflect it. It's nice today. It's going to be 70. I have on a sweatshirt. At least it's not one of my usual gray ones, y'all. But it's been cold. We had snow several days ago. It was a nice snow. It was beautiful. We had about 3 inches, big fat flakes, and it snowed late in the afternoon, so the children were able to play. But then the next day, it melted pretty much completely away, and it never did cause any hazardous driving or anything like that. So that was nice. Glad to have that. Today is, did I tell you today's the 16th of March? It is Wednesday. And I think it's been, about 3 weeks maybe since I've been on here, so I have a few things to show you. I'm going to do a review on a floor lamp. I have some whips, I have some FFOs, I have some new starts, a couple of things like that. I have the results of the last time I videoed a giveaway, and I have one pattern that I want to give away today. That's a very timely one, I think. So what's going on besides that before I get started on that? Dental issues. I had a root canal right up here. I have a tiny little mouth. Nothing else on me is little. But I do have a tiny little mouth, and it's always hard when they have to do that. And now I'm going to have a crown on that tooth. That'll be another month away, I guess. My foot is better. I had told y'all I had a bone spur on the bottom of my foot, but that's much better. I'm able to walk a lot easier now. And gosh, I think that's about it. I don't know of anything else. It's been a quiet 3 weeks, I guess. A really quiet 3 weeks, and that's always a good thing, isn't it? The war, of course, is still proceeding. We continue to be in prayer for all the people in Ukraine and for all of those in Russia who are also against this war. I pray every day that Vladimir Putin directs his troops to lay down their arms and that peace returns to that land and to ours as well. So, that's it on the current situation. We don't need to dwell on that. I do want to go ahead and get started. And the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to back this up a little bit and tell you that I have a review on a floor lamp. Now, I have seen other floss tubers do reviews on the BenQ table lamp, but that company contacted me, I don't know, about 3 weeks ago maybe, and asked me if I would be willing to do a review on a lamp. And I thought, I really don't need a table lamp. And that's been done several times, but I do need a floor lamp. I was struggling with the floor lamp. And y'all know I've had trouble with my vision for a couple of years now. This house is not a very bright one. Doesn't get a whole lot of light. We have, I don't know, maybe 25 trees in our yard, so it's very shaded. And there are not a lot of windows in this particular area. And this is my stitching chair. This is where I sit every day, every night, whenever I'm stitching. It's going to be right here. You can see I have a floor lamp right here, just a regular floor lamp. And it has 4 bulbs in it. That center one up there is the kind that puts sunlight on you, because I miss the sunlight in the winter. And then I have a daylight clamp-on lamp that is over here to my right, and it's a magnifier lamp. It's a great lamp, but I don't always need a magnifier. The TV is in front of me, and so when I use that magnifier lamp, it frequently gets in my way of trying to see the television as I stitch. It also has begun to flicker. I'm not quite sure. It doesn't do it all the time, but it does it often enough that it's a bit annoying to me. And so I had a different lamp on this side. If you've seen Lori Holt's video where she shows the lamp that she uses behind her couch, it was that kind of a lamp. It was a long, skinny, came across this way. It was a long, skinny lamp. And that worked pretty good. I can see, I wear readers, and I can see 28 count with my readers just fine in a nice light. 32, I can see okay in a really good light. 36, I had to have the magnifier with these 2 lights on. This magnifier lamp and the other lamp that I had right here. So when the BenQ company said, you can review the floor lamp if that's what you would like to have. And I said, absolutely. That's the one I want to see. And I just have to tell y'all, they gave me the lamp, but I would not steer you wrong. I promise. I'm going to be telling you the truth. This is a great lamp for me. And the reason I'm saying it's a great lamp, let me tell you a couple of features. First of all, let me start with the plug. Some plugs on lamps have the cord come out of the end. You have the little square piece, and then the plug comes out of the end. And it takes up space, like I use, what's that called? A surge protector. And it means you can't use, use that one cord, and it takes up 3 spaces there, which that doesn't work well for me because I have the floor lamp, I have the clamp-on lamp, and I have a charger for my iPhone and iPad. And then when I add that floor lamp to it, there's just not enough space, and that's not a good situation for me. This plug, I don't want to unplug it, but the cord comes out from it's configured so that it literally only takes up that one plug-in space. I hope that makes sense to y'all, but it is a great space saver for me. It has a nice length of cord. I don't know how long it is. For my particular purposes, this is an older house that was added onto after a flood back in 1990. This whole area where we are right now was flooded up to the top of that doorway. This part of the house, we didn't own it then, but this part of the house was a deck, and they enclosed it. And there are only 2 electrical outlets in this whole room, and they're on the far side of the room at the two ends. So for me to have a plug-in right here, I have to run an extension cord into the living area. There's an outlet in the floor right on the other side of the living room. That's why I have that extension cord surge protector thing. So for me, if the cord were even 6 inches longer, it would have been helpful. But as it is, I can make it work. It's plenty long enough in a normal situation. Now, a second great feature about this lamp is that it comes as a table lamp, and then in one box, and then in a separate box entirely, there is the floor lamp portion of the light. It is very easy. It's easy to put together. It's well packaged. And once you've put it together, it's also easy to move it back and forth from a floor lamp to a table lamp. There are two bases, the big round heavy bases, and one of those is for the floor and has the pole that comes up, and the other is for the table. And I can change this just by unscrewing one screw, picking it up and putting it over on the other stand. So I like that a lot, because if I happen to want to go and work somewhere else, for instance, if I'm doing punch needle and I want to sit at my dining room table to do that where I have a nice flat surface there, that would work perfectly. Secondly, it swivels easily. This is the shape of the lamp. Let me get it a little closer here if I can. This is how you turn it on and off. That's it, one touch, on and off. There's a dial right here that changes the intensity and the color. I keep it on very bright for me. That's what works best for me. It spreads. When I put it right here, most of the time I use the little fanny stand that you sit on and the hook comes up. Most of the time I use this. I also have a lap stand, and I also have a clamp-on stand that will clamp onto this table where my computer's sitting right now. Any of those works great because this light is spread over this whole area right here. And it's wide enough that it's a nice band of light right in front of me. When I turn it off, I simply raise it a little and turn it back, swivel it back around behind me. So, with all that being said, I love this lamp. It works great for me. I don't know what the price of it is. I haven't looked it up, but I know it's not cheap. I will put a link below to that website where you can go and check it out for yourself. But I think if you are struggling with light, it would be a good investment for you. One of the ways it has changed for me is that on a 36 count where I used to have the light and the magnifier, I no longer have to have the magnifier. I can use just my readers and this lamp, and that's enough. I can see it. Now, if the fabric is a very dark fabric, that might change a little. I might still have to have a magnifier because darker fabrics are just harder to stitch on. I have not stitched on a dark fabric since I got this lamp about a week ago. But it absolutely changed the way I'm stitching and the comfort level for me because I don't have to use the magnifier all the time. And that's very helpful to me. So, that's my review on the lamp. Now, this is maybe completely out of order because I just realized I had laid things around here and moved things around. I have been working on, this is one of my whips, Hannah's Brownstone, and just a second, I moved my little rolling cart out of the way. This is always beside my chair. Hannah's Brownstone. This was a whip from last year, 2021. I'm pretty sure it was 2021. It's by the Scarlett House. It came as a kit. And that means the fabric is Edinburgh Summer Khaki. It's a 36 count. And I'm using the the threads that came in that kit. That's what I'm using. When I started on it this time, the house was completed, and that's all, just the house. So since I have worked on it this last week, I have put in the vase and all of the flowers and vines that are on the right of that house. I have added the tree trunk on the other side and the flag and the basket at the top. So that means I have, well, shucks, I'll put that right down. Here we go. I have the birds and whatever's in that basket and that little, I don't know what that is, a flower, I guess. And then I have the flowers and the little bird to put on there, and this one will be completed. I love this. I really love this. It's been a lot of fun to work on. And I might be able to finish this tonight. Not sure, but I might be able to. All right, let me see if I can find, I've got a couple of more whips to show you. Excuse me, y'all. I have to reach because I'm out of whack in here in this room. It's not what I'm used to. It's not where I'm used to filming anyway. Okay, I started this the 1st of February, and it was for Colorado Cross Stitchers Winter Cross Stitch Camp. I'm not finished with it. I bit off a little more than I could chew. It's Shepherd Sampler, and it's by October House. I've not ever stitched a pattern by October House, but it's a great pattern. It's a beautiful piece, and the pattern itself is a very good size. It's easy to read. I'm using, let's see. I am using, it's not the Call-For color, charcoal, Weeks Dye Works charcoal. That's what I'm using for this one. And this is where I am. I tried to pin this on this little board so you could see. I've got two things pinned on here. It's kind of dark down here, and I apologize for that. I believe that last time I had about this side right here mostly done, and maybe that right there. And this right here has been completed. I'm more than halfway through, but I got a little ways to go yet. It actually is, it's a great stitch. It's a little bit bigger than I anticipated. That's okay. I just didn't picture it correctly in my mind. I love the sentiment on this one. And I hope to have it finished. I won't have it finished this month, I don't think. It'll probably be April when this one gets finished. Then I went back to, I'm trying to work on the whips that I brought in to this year frequently. I'd like to have one a month finished. If I finish Hannah's Brownstone, that will be my third one for this year from that whip list. And so I'll be caught up. We'll see. Winter Rose Manor, which you've seen probably 100 times. I talked to you about it last time because I wasn't happy with the pink on the house. I'm not using, the Call-For fabric I think is Brenda's Brew, and I'm not using that. I'm using 36 count, no, unknown. I don't know. I don't know what fabric I'm using, but it almost looks like straw. And the pattern called for conch, Week Style Works conch, and I changed it. I got lots of suggestions, and in fact, I told several of y'all I wasn't going to change. I was just going to stay with conch. Couldn't do it. It just wasn't doing it for me. So I found this color, Week Style Works Cherub, which is a little bit pinker than conch, a little less brown. And that has made all the difference because it is showing up much, much better. Last time I had done just this little bit. I had part of this fence and gate finished, but not quite all. So I finished that, did the bird and the window and these flowers, I believe. Anyway, that's what the pink looks like on here. And I'm pretty sure when I get the house finished, it's really going to show up nicely. If there's an issue with that, and I think it's not quite enough, I may outline with a back stitch the sides and the top. Maybe not the top, the bottom, I think is what I thought. Anyway, I may find another color to outline the house with so that it just kind of brings it out a little bit more. I had intended for this to be my fourth whip from 2021 to get completed, which means that it needs to be finished by the end of April. Probably not going to happen, so I may have to go back to my list and find one that's a little bit closer to being completed. Okay, I had, let's see, my notes here. Some new starts. One of them is a small, and this is a Christmas. I'm trying to do a few Christmas things along, ornaments for gifts, and this one is called Be Merry, and it's a free chart from Dorigo Michela. This, that's not it. I don't know. It's a free chart, so I'm just going to show it to you. You can't really tell much because I've done some highlighting on there. I used a scrap of fabric that I had. This is how it turned out. It's very small. I believe this is a 40 count, so it really made it very small. It had some other little tiny motifs in there that were in a pink, and I just decided I didn't want to use the pink. I'm going to make a pillow. No, I'm not. I'm going to put this in here. The first time I saw anybody do this, Teresa Vanette showed these. You get them at Hobby Lobby. They are $7.99 unless you hit the week when they're on for half price. I'll get some mat board that will fit in there. I'm going to cover the mat board with this red ticking, and sorry, y'all, I've got a phone call and I don't know how to pause this, so I'm not going to. And I have some snowflake buttons to put on it and a Santa Claus button. So I'm somehow going to incorporate those in there. And then another new start, I found this pattern in a magazine, Primitive Quilts and Projects, spring of 2012, and it's for this bunny. Isn't he cute? I thought he was really cute. I haven't done a project like that in a long time, but he turned out pretty well. Whoops, dropped that. There's my little bunny. I tried waxing my thread to make his whiskers stand out. I'm going to have to work on that a little bit. I'll get some sugar starch and maybe dip just those whiskers down in there. Anyway, this is just little wool pieces that I cut out. I have not even appliqued those. I just glued them on because I wanted him to be really primitive. And he's going to sit like this in one of my baskets. I thought he was a cutie. I embroidered his little face with just some black thread. I also went back and I told y'all last time that a friend, Tammy, sent me some snowflake buttons, and I added those to my gingerbread man. This is Whilst Iris Naps. And I added those to him to finish him up. So he's all ready for Christmas. So that's 2 Christmas ones that I hope we'll have done pretty soon. And then I have some FFOs. Several months ago, I worked on Mary Kathleen Harris. I can't, Erna Hiscock graphed this, and that's what it looks like. I told you that I wanted to do it because the zebra was my high school mascot. I did it in a silk oatmeal scone. These are Belsoise and Old Crow. Those are the 2 colors I used. And I was able to frame that this week. The fabric is a 32 count American chestnut. He's pretty straight in there, although he's not looking like it here, is he? This is going to be one of my very favorites. It's just wonky and funny and makes me think about high school. My friend Dory sent me this little zebra made by women in India that I'm going to try to incorporate somewhere, like hanging him next to it. That'll be cute. My basket over here is trying to fall off, and I'm trying to stop it. It's not working well. Then I also started, I didn't have this on my new start list, but I did. Not Forgotten Farm, Kind Words. Let me see if I can get the glare off of there. Kind Words. I've had this pattern for a while. It doesn't have a year on here. But I finished it. I don't know right now what the fabric is or the thread. It's a black silk. Oh wait, there's the thread. Classic Colorworks Blackbird. But I don't know what the fabric is. I could look that up if you need it. Anyway, this is what it ended up looking like. And what I found was this little piece. It's a triangular shaped piece that I found at Hobby Lobby for $9. And it sits flat like this. I'm going to keep it here on the table next to my stitching station to remind me to always use kind words, because I don't always remember that. I try, but sometimes the other kind just slip right out. I could add maybe some black buttons. Do you think it needs more? I couldn't decide. It'll be okay plain, but would it be better with something else? I also, did I start this too? I might have had several new starts this time. My Refuge by Erica Michaels. This included the silk to stitch this on. I did not use it. I rarely stitch on a 40 count. I've never stitched on this silk. I saved it in case I wanted to do this again and try my hand at that. But I just pulled a piece of fabric from my stash. I'm not sure what it is. It could be antique white. I'll show you just a second. And I didn't use her called for threads. I used Soie d'Alger 3713 and NPI 341 and 933. These are the three colors I used. They don't actually look like they would go together, I suppose, but they're very pretty. Very pretty. And I framed it. And this is what it looks like. And mercy, I love this one. This is he shall cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you shall take refuge. I believe this is from Psalm 91. And if it is, I just read that this morning. I can't believe I'm struggling with that. I believe it's 91. It is a prayer that I was praying over Ukraine this morning, and over our nation too, as we see war and hear the rumors of war. The lighter green is only in the stem part of the leaves. The two main colors are the darker green and the black, of course. This was actually a pretty fast stitch. It didn't take me all that long to do that one. Okay, I think that's all the stitching. Nope. Yes it is. I do want to talk about the giveaway. I had several hoops that I said I would give away because I'm not going to use these. And I did the random comment picker. Patty Miller is the one who won these hoops. So Patty, if you will please email me your mailing information, I'll send these to you. And then last time, my last video, I showed you this little rabbit right here that I stitched. He turned out so cute. If you didn't see my last video, you might go back and take a look at it. Anyway, I'm not going to stitch anything else on this out of this book, so I'm going to give this one away. And if you are interested in receiving this little booklet, it's called Black Sheep Redo, Book 1. It has 8 designs in it, and it is from Twisted Threads. It has the sheep that says love. It has a snowman and a little house. It has a jack-o'-lantern, some others on there. Use the word bunny in your comment if you're interested in that. Let's talk about market for just a minute. I will not under any circumstances tell you or show you everything I ended up buying from market. I'm pretty sure it's sinful. I told y'all I wasn't going to order anything, and then I ordered like 15. I might have added 1 or 2. I just got carried away, and I love everything I got. I do have them. I've not even gone through all of them yet. This did not come from market. This is some fabric I bought before market that I found at the Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock. And y'all, this is so pretty. The name of it is Nutmeg. This is a 32 count nutmeg. Look at that. I have no idea what I'm going to stitch on it. None whatsoever. Y'all got any suggestions? But I loved it. I just loved it. So, I bought 2 fat quarters. I loved it that much. I just don't know. It's going to be pretty, though, when I get it stitched, isn't it? And then I do have 2 patterns here that I guess they came from market. Yeah, both of these came from market. These are Brenda Gervais. What I'm going to do about market is just show you a couple of things that I bought today. And then in the next few videos, I'll show you a couple more that I am especially fond of. This one, both of these are Brenda Gervais, and this one is called Rejoice Evermore. Oh, look at those colors. Isn't that scrumptious? And that border? Oh my. The birds are just gorgeous blues. Gorgeous. It calls for 40 count, which I won't be doing. And if it was 40 count, it would be a little over 18 by 18. So it's going to be bigger than that when I stitch it on something different, unless I decide to alter it a little bit and maybe, I don't know, but I don't think I will. I think I'll probably do it that big. And then a quick stitch for, I hope, for Easter, her Rabbit and the Rose. Brenda Gervais, Rabbit and the Rose. So sweet. So sweet. So those are the two market pieces that I'm going to show you today. I think that's all that I have. I hope that wherever you are healthy and happy and safe. Together, I hope we are continuing to pray for those who are being affected by the war, both those who are being hurt and those who are serving and those who are trying to help. We are holding all of those people in our hearts. We pray also for this nation and our future and what might happen with us. So, until I see you the next time, y'all do some wonderful stitching. It's the beginning of the week. Oh, well, no, it's not either. It's the middle of the week. Slam in the middle, Marlene. But it's a beautiful day here. So I'm going to stitch this afternoon, and tomorrow probably will stitch much of the day. My older brother's in the hospital in Little Rock, and I'm going to go up and spend the day with him. And so I'll take my stitching with me and do some of that. I'm going to work on another whip from 2021, and it's a Halloween piece. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. So y'all have a good week, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.